Sean Logan would be here to make this presentation, but he had another commitment tonight. Myself and Sean were meeting and had many discussions about possibly getting a community sign, an information board, if you would, much like Cranberry has. So we started meeting, me and Sean started meeting and having an investigation, trying to check it out. And we had to obtain costs, which were way higher than we thought they were going to be. And enter the COG and Amanda. She managed to get a grant for this thing. So I wanted to show you, we wanted to initially put the sign on the northeast corner. Joe, could you put that where the banners usually are? On the northeast corner of 22 and 48. And there was a problem with that in that the Conservancy has an agreement with PennDOT with the flower beds, and PennDOT wouldn't allow it anyway. I mean, they were very stern about it. They said they would not allow us on that property for that purpose. And part of it was liability, I guess, if somebody wrecked into it or whatever the case may be. So then with that, Sean and Bob Ratcher talked to the Hampton Inn on the other corner, which is the southeast corner, and that property is owned by the Hampton. And Bob, could you give me just to give a brief what happened there? We got I don't know whether to say an agreement or a lease or.
No, we got an easement to put the sign there on the Hamptons property. They were very receptive to the idea of having a community sign and so forth. So they granted us a perpetual easement. As long as there's a sign there, we have the easement.
So that's kind of that corner. The next thing we had to do is we had to get PennDOT approval for that. Enter Mr. Weldon and Paul Hugas, and they got that permit. So with that, Amanda managed to get us a grant for $149,510. What I'm asking council tonight is we need to pay 10% of that to have the managing say in it, which is $15,000. With that, Mr. Ratcher has to design an ordinance on the rules and fees for putting messages on the sign. I can tell you that Cranberry lets no general advertising on it. It has to be from 501c3 people or anything from the municipality. What the funds would be used for, because they do charge a fee if outside agencies want to put something on there that meets the specifications, they put it back into the maintenance and upkeep of the sign. And in my opinion, in the ordinance, who will manage the sign? I think it should be Sean Logan and Visit Monroeville and Chief Cole. And I say Chief Cole because he would have the ability to put on weather alerts, traffic alerts, amber alerts, and things like that. Other than that, Sean would make sure that the people that put in for advertising space or notice space met our ordinance. Sean and Visit Monroeville would receive all the fees and the advertisements, and they would take care of managing that. Now on this sign, Joe, there it is, there's an artist rendition of it. That sign is about 18 feet, 6 inches long, 10 feet, 1 foot high. The center structure that you see blue is about 14 feet wide, 4 feet off the ground. The illuminated part is approximately 3 feet high by 7.5 feet long. And what you can't see there, if you can see the writing, these 4 words there is illuminated squares that are approximately 2 feet by 1.5 feet that sponsors for the sign have purchased. And I just got notified by Mr. Logan, and they are, by the way, they're not cheap, $25,000 for 5 years, and they're filled. So one is given at no cost to the Hampton, for their giving us the property. The other one is UPMC, Forbes, and Visit Monroeville's paying for the other one. So what I'm asking council tonight is to approve the $15,000 it would take to get this whole project completed.
Can I make a motion to approve that now?
Second.
And then Bob would have to design the ordinance and bring that
Right.
back to us.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Quick question to Ron, too. So essentially.
Yeah, I should have said that.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So essentially, given with the fees and perpetual collection of it, too, the money that we use now is essentially covered and paid for.
Could you pass these down?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, if it got into the positive, which it has a very good chance of doing, the ordinance could say that Visit Monroeville and could award grants or, things like that with the excess money.
And also, our portion of this money does give us the availability for our chief and whoever else is designated to put
Basically, we have the
information on there.
controlling say in it.
Correct. So that is why we want to put a portion in, so we have a say.
Ron, I have is it exactly 10% of the total cost? Is that what council's going
It's
to pay for?
$15,000, it's close to 10%. I think it's,
Okay, so it's $15,000
Yes.
flat, okay, all right.
I mean, that's only $500 off, being 10%.
So there was a motion and a second for this item. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.